นะคะจะเข้าสู่ช่วง Panel Talk กันแล้วอย่างที่สัญญากันไว้ภายใต้ธีมของ Versatile Design of Cool Steel ค่ะเรามาร่วมพูดคุยกับท่านคณะกรรมการกิตติมศักดิ์ของเรากันก่อนนะคะก่อนจะไปสู่ช่วง Talk 2 ที่เป็น The Winner นะคะเรื่องนี้เนี่ยต้องบอกได้ว่าเป็นเรื่องที่สำคัญและทุกคนให้ความสนใจแล้ววันนี้เนี่ยอยู่บนเวทีจะมีทั้ง4ท่านนะคะขออนุญาตเรียนเชิญกันเลยดีกว่านะคะ So ladies and gentlemen let's now move on to the panel talk of the theme Versatile Design of Cool Steel So please welcome our esteemed honorary judges First, a big round of applause to Mr. Geoff Kroger, Principal Architect at fjcstudio, Australia. Welcome to Thailand. Please, sir. Next, founder of Office 80. Please give a big round of applause to Mr. Surachai Ekapop-Yotin ค่ะ Ladies and gentlemen, next, Managing Director of Architecture of My Own. Please give a big round of applause to Mr. Sivichai Udom Waranan ค่ะ ขอบคุณมากนะคะ So here's all the faces of our honorary judges และสำหรับช่วง Panel Talk ช่วงนี้นะคะขออนุญาตดำเนินรายการเป็นภาษาอังกฤษค่ะซึ่งเราได้รับเกียรติจากท่าน Moderator นะคะท่านนี้ได้รับเกียรติมาเป็น Moderator หลักในวันนี้เลยเพื่อพูดคุยกับกรรมการทุกๆท่านนะคะขอเสียงปรบมือดังๆต้อนรับคุณอินทนนท์จันทิพย์อินจันแอตทิเลียค่ะ A big round of applause to all the moderator Thank you very much
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I'm checking. Anyway, I've just heard that you just flew in last night, somehow.
Very true.
Okay, and I'd like to give a little bit of introduction. Would you give yourself an introduction to everyone about you yourself and the firm fjcstudio? Yep.
Sure. First of all, I'm honoured and delighted to be here. Thank you very much. Delighted with BlueScope. I work with BlueScope in Australia on a lot of our projects. An excellent product and a great practice and firm. I opened the Melbourne office of fjcstudio about 20 years ago. Before that, I worked in a few firms in Melbourne, and I was lucky enough to win a scholarship to study at Harvard in the US. I did 2 years over there and worked a little bit in New York. Since then, our practice is basically predominantly working on public buildings, art galleries, libraries, police stations, tertiary education, projects of that ilk. And we are now doing some commercial towers as well. So 50%.
Wide range of building typologies. Okay, and across Australia, some in the UK.
Yes, we have Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. We have an office in Singapore and we have an office in London. We've worked globally, but all based from the Australian practice.
Oh, wow. Okay. And คุณสุรชัยพี่เล็กสวัสดีครับ Okay. Would you give us a little bit of introduction for yourself, please?
Okay. My name is Surachai. I'm the founder of the office called Office 80. Our office is a kind of small firm, but we try to do some quality work.
Very innovative. I remember a lot of exciting projects going on from your office.
Thank you.
Yep. And the last one, P. Wan Sivichai, would you give us a little bit of introduction for yourself?
ก็ศิวิชัยอุดมวรนันท์นะครับ I'm the founder of the company Architecture of My Own. So basically in Thai it means like บริษัทกูเอง So basically I have been like working for like 33 years already. So basically I have worked in the US. Study here in Chulalongkorn. I went to the US to study grad school in Seattle, Washington, and then I worked there about 6.5 years and came back here in 2005. So I've been back like 20 years already. I have experience working on like big project, and then now I opened my own firm. So basically we try to do more selective project, which is a little bit more like interesting. So we take all the project, basically all type of the project that think that we can create something, or something that interesting in the architecture. So my project is a little bit less than 2,000 square meter, most of them. So basically, it's not that big.
But both of you also were award winners for this award. You were in 2022, and yours would be 2023.
23.
Yeah. But not to waste any time further, I'd like to begin with your presentation. And I have seen your slides, which are very interesting. And can you give us, and can you share your work with the audience, please?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I have a lot of slides, so I might move pretty quickly, but I'll stop at certain points. As mentioned, our practice has been around for over 30 years, really. And this project, which I'm pushing this button, nothing's happening. Go on. I'll swap.
Oh.
All right, the project we worked on, which I'm sharing here, is a project called Banjil Place. It's a civic building. Would you like, do I need to stop for translation, or is everyone comfortable?
No, you can go through all the way.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologise, I can't speak any Thai, other than chicken musselman.
No, don't worry.
The project, this is Melbourne, and the CBD of Melbourne is at the top of that slide, right on the water there. And this project is about 40 miles out, in the middle of the suburbs, and it was the largest government project in Australia at the time. And that's not doing anything.
Working again?
Is that working?
I don't know, am I pushing it?
Why?
Oh, here we go.
Okay. From you or from him?
No, I didn't
work
push
together.
anything. I just thought, move.
All right.
So the site is a difficult site. It's next to the largest shopping centre, second largest shopping centre in the world, actually. I'm not proud to say, but that's how it was. And it's between two freeways. And they said, this is the project where we want this major cultural centre. And we said, this is very difficult in this site. It wasn't really ideal. But we worked with the site, and we ended up working and winning a competition.
Oh.
So the design is based on the Banjil, which is an indigenous Aboriginal totem. The eagle, it's the mother of the earth. So we were very keen to ground the building with some meaning, not just a retail place, etc. So the form is based around the Banjil eagle and this idea of sheltering and mothering. It's the largest timber structure in the Southern Hemisphere, so we were very keen to kind of work from there. So this building has theatre, art gallery, library, council chambers, meeting room, function room. So it's quite a large, probably around 7 projects in the one building. We used steel roofing, Kingspan actually, on the building form itself, and we found that an exceptional flexible product and ideal for what we really need to do. The steel was milled on site, so they bought the rolls in the back of a truck on site, and they rolled them out to length. Now the challenge with this building is it's a little bit like an orange, so it's not, you can't just have traditional sheets running because they overlap. So it's a little bit like an orange. We cut the sheets specially for each panel. We use timber on the edges, and it's actually it glows and sits in the site beautifully. It changes colour with the sun. So here we are. These are the design competitions. The timber idea of this wings informing the building roof, and then how that was sort of formed. These are the models we made in our office, and that sits on my desk. It's the original kind of prototype, which was laser cut at the time. So from that, we came up with this design, which, as I mentioned, was at the time, this is probably 6 years old now, very innovative timber building, and we wanted that to hold the roof and to really be part of the foyer. So you can sort of see that crisscross area there in the middle. That's the timber, and then the building wraps around the central theatre in the middle, and library, black box theatre, gallery, community centre and function space. So the timber here was made in Germany. It's an impressive, came from sustainable forest. And you can see these presses the challenge with this building was the timber. It's bent in 3 directions, so most timber they can bend easily with one direction.
Three-dimensional curvature.
This
yeah.
3-dimensional curvature was the
Yep.
first that was designed. So this was all made in Germany, and they shipped it in containers, and it came across in true German, beautiful, organised fashion.
Oh wow.
And here we are here during construction. As I said, it was a very complex build, the first of its type in Australia, and you know, we were learning as we went as well. We spent a lot of time working with the builder. It's the first time anyone had done a lot of this stuff, including us. The white is a product called Stowe. It's a Swiss product. It's an applied plaster-like. It's 7 layers, so you don't get any joints. So that was pretty important for us. We had these ribbons which tied through the building as well.
And from this kind of timber structure, and then you incorporate with the coated steel to deal with surface on top. Again.
Sorry, did we work
I mean,
with?
with this kind of
Yes.
timber structure
Yes.
as the structure of the whole
Yes,
sheltering wings,
yes.
and then you incorporate with the coated steel on
Yes,
top of that.
we did, and it was important because the weight is very important with this building. The timber is highly stressed,
Yes.
so the steel is incredibly flexible,
Ah.
but also lightweight, and we couldn't have done it any other way, I don't think. So you can see how it works. We also used, I call it apple store glass. It's a Japanese glass.
Ah.
It's very expensive. It has no green in it. So we had this detail with this timber roof, which is quite flexible, and these very expensive pieces of glass, all detailed with that little stainless steel channel. So an interesting juxtaposition between the two, and the ability to seamlessly move inside to outside was important to us as well. All the lighting is from the side. The ceiling is just a feature. The sprinklers are recessed. And we based this also on an Indigenous painting, which is pathways. So you can sort of see how the roof form sits over the top of the functions and around this space, facing north to get the sunlight. So here it is during construction. As I said, a challenging site. But this idea of connectivity and geometry and address was important to how we worked.
I see.
And then this connectivity to other activities, the shopping centre, the school, the swimming pool, all were then centred around this foyer. Can everyone hear okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Relationship with the.
So here's the central hub outside, and then here's the building here. And that's an amphitheatre, and then we did the landscape as well. But you can see the steel roof there, 2 layers with a thin edge.
Which allows the natural lighting to go.
It
through.
does, it
Okay.
does, yeah.
Okay.
Here's the opening day. It's been that busy from day one. It's amazing, really. They have a lot of events there, food stalls, weekend markets.
But this project also earns a recognition.
Yes,
Right.
yes, it did. This won the International Public Building Award in Chicago, and many international awards, Public Building Institute of Architects Award. This is the Indigenous group doing the Banjil dance, which the building is named after.
I see.
They prepared that specially for this event. These are the kids afterwards having a great time. And here we are here. Then they have, you know, movie nights, etc. And then inside, you can sort of see this connection. We were very, very, very keen not to have a hierarchy of spaces. The library was as important as the gallery, as important as the theatre. So the foyer is accessible to all points equally. So that was an important sort of design process. You can sort of see how this sits in there as such. Then you can see the form, and then this is the space. The library on the first 2 floors. Some of the detail. Frameless glass, so it's 15-metre glass, structural glass. There's no columns in that facade.
Not at all.
And then this timber roof goes over the top. Air conditioning is contained in that grille on the side, so there's nothing on the ceiling.
Yes.
All the lighting is lit from the side as well. So you go into the space, it's quite a kind of imposing place, but equally so, you know, some dynamic and wonderful forms Here it is here. That's just a typical day these days. People utilising it. We designed the furniture. It's facing north, so the sun comes in, warms the brick, and then there's carpet moving in from there. All based on indigenous colours. You can sort of see the section here, the fly tower for the theatre at the back, under the back of the roof, reception point. The veneer is all selected from one tree. We managed to find an incredible, beautiful tree with a fiddleback timber, and the farmer was delighted we were
So
going to use
peel
it.
it off and then you.
So he cut it. They cut it into veneers, millions of pieces. So every piece of timber in this building is from the one tree, which is lovely, except the grillage. Here's opening night, and then we'll go through. Here's the construction. It was 150 million Australian. I don't know what that is in baht. What would that be? Any idea?
Don't
Same as
ask me about this kind of
It's 150
translating back
American.
to Thai baht. That's too difficult.
Yeah. Anyhow, this is the ground floor. You can see the theatre, which is 700 seats. The library on the left there, and office space. Here's the theatre here. It's quite a difficult process. The highest quality acoustics. We worked with the acoustic engineer from the Sydney Opera House. So this can have any touring opera, orchestra in tour through this, as well as the local school kids. So all this timber is from that tree. There's 800 seats. The red is an indigenous flower from the area. And you can sort of see how that works. A lot of time setting the acoustics up with these panels to stop refraction of noise. That's the Australian Opera. Then the library, Black Box Theatre. This can have circus, 200 seats, retractable seating, acoustic, highly flexible space, very popular. The art gallery is designed again to the highest standards of humidity, so they can have travelling Picasso shows, etc., through the space. Then the library. So with 3 levels, the kids are on the ground floor, a lot of spaces for the kids, upper floors. You can see again, no ceiling, no services on the ceiling. We went to a lot of trouble, so all the air conditioning is from the side and the lighting is from the side, and you get this beautiful effect of the ceiling going over the space itself. And then we have the workplace, so there's 700 staff, all design, flexible design. Then the foyer itself. I'll move quickly. There's the atrium space, all connected by this beautiful timber space, which you can feel right throughout the whole building. That's that clear glass, 14 to 15 metre high, no structure in the facade whatsoever. So the whole roof is suspended, carried on those 2 pins, stainless steel pins at the bottom of the feet there.
Oh.
Here's the back of the building. So this is facing onto the highway. So the back of the bird comes down here, the fly tower, office space on either side. So that's that one, and if I've got time, I'll quickly show you. I don't know if I've got it on here. The other one, is that on there?
No? Do you have some more or what?
I had the other one on the Sydney Maritime Museum, but I'm not sure if it's on there.
มีสไลด์อะไรเพิ่มเติมจากตรงนี้อีกไหมครับผม
Is that there? Otherwise, it's fine. There we go.
But then during waiting for more slides,
Sure.
Can I
Please do.
ask you some
Yes,
questions?
go.
Because in response to your presentation about the previous work you just presented, can you share with us about how the metal sheet or the coated steel play the role with parametric design in architecture? Because your work is very innovative in a way.
Yes, well, it was definitely all designed in parametric design, and there was no way we could have done it any other way. And we documented the shop drawings for the manufacturer because they had never built this either. So it was a very interactive process, but BlueScope were incredibly helpful through that process, and we worked together collaboratively. But I don't believe there'd be any other material other than concrete which would be too heavy, which
Yes.
could actually do what we wanted it to do. We wanted large curved forms over relatively lightweight structural system. So the steel system was perfect for that case.
So it's very economic when we apply coated steel for custom made of the roof surface or something like that.
Yeah, plus, we had to insulate it. There's acoustic and fire and a whole lot of other regulations. So the whole roof structure is incredibly important, and we tried to minimize any joints. So long sheets
I see.
that you could cut on an angle was important.
And
So
BlueScope can respond to that
BlueScope
very
worked with us
nicely.
closely, and so did the builder, and it was all breaking new ground, but we got there in the end.
But then
We can go back to-
from the
I don't know how to go back.
from the highway perspective towards
Yes.
the building, as we can see the
Yeah.
image of the building.
I don't know if we can go back one. Doesn't matter. You remember?
Do you
Yeah.
remember the image from the highway
Yes,
towards the
yes.
building? As we can see that the surface of the
Yes.
coated steel bending
Yes,
from
yes.
ground up to the top.
Yes.
Would you share with us about like how this
That's the other one. That's
this
okay.
kind of material would affect to the environment?
Yeah, well, we found contextually, all of our projects, we're very keen about its context. And yeah, that's the other project, I can talk about that. But we don't have a front or a back in this building. Like, we don't like to have a front and back on any of our buildings. We think you enjoy it
So it's
in the round.
360.
And the
yeah.
view from the highway was actually very important.
Mm.
So it's a very elegant form, and when you drive along, it changes colour with the sight and the day, and you can see it from miles and miles away.
The
So it's
color.
actually a very beautiful material. It has a slight reflectivity,
Mhm.
and it's also hardy enough with 35,000 cars going by. I'm not sure how it would go in Bangkok, but
But in terms of energy preservation,
it met 6-star Green Star, so the highest lead regulations.
wow, I
Yep.
see. You
We've
can
got
quickly
time?
share this
Yeah,
one.
Is this going to work? I don't know.
Let's
Okay,
see.
this is a project we did in Sydney, and it's the Maritime Museum for the Australian Navy, and
In Sydney.
in Sydney,
Okay.
Sydney Harbour, and we spent a lot of time thinking about this one. And the movement of a boat, and I'm no physicist, creates this wake, and I didn't realise, but it's the same on any size boat. There's a mathematical formula. So we measured this with a maritime engineer.
You measure that.
He measured that for us. But we created this building, this is also steel on Sydney Harbour. And this building is it's next to the Australian Navy's submarine or heritage boats. And this product, we created these sheets which can move like that. So you'll sort of see here. So this is that's an old submarine and an old destroyer. So this project had to be built over water. So it had a factor of complexity, which is alone interesting. But you can see what we did was map the waves, and it then informs and sits between both boats in the museum itself.
I see.
So incredibly flexible product. It worked really well. If you have a chance to visit it, I would recommend it. Again, working with BlueScope on this project as well. You can sort of see how it picks up the wave generation. There's a relationship between both the boats next door.
Oh,
And
nice
it's-
work.
Yeah, if you have a chance. But again, just showcases the product. You can sort of see this generation of waves, which I won't go into now, but that's informed. The glazing on the side as well. Each of the panels is custom made.
Okay, I think,
We're out of time?
but yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing this with us. And would you please give us a big hand to Mr. Geoff Kroger? Very, very interesting ones. The next presentation is from our judge, Kun Lek Surashai.
Oh, hi everyone. Okay, let's go back to see some small project, low
But-
budget.
But your work is also very innovative. I know that.
Okay. let's take a look. Okay, Office IT and BlueScope. So today, I'm sorry, maybe.
You gotta switch. We'll see which one.
I think it's low battery. Oh, it doesn't work again.
No?
Why?
Light and thin.
Okay, it moved.
Which one? Yours.
It's yours, but I think maybe we had to push harder.
Okay.
I think. Okay. Okay, we talk about versatile design for coated steel. Actually, our office use a lot of metal sheets and metal structure, but when we look back to the project and we ask ourselves why we use that kind of products, we have some ability that we think it really appropriate and good for metal sheets. First is about it is lightweight and thin. So when we look back to the project, our office really fascinated with the cantilever. We try to use many methods to do cantilever. For example, the one below is a house which is 5-meter cantilever using only concrete beam. And then after that, we try something else. This time, we think maybe we might use something light, so it can be take longer cantilever, right? So that one is a house in Samui, the upper one. This time we use steel and use something very light on top of it. So metal sheet is the best material here. So we put metal sheet on top, and this may be 6-meter cantilever with a steel structure. The upper one is another method that we use to do cantilever too. This time it is an office, it's a PTT office in Pisanulok. This time we use post-tension. Post-tension and take about 6-meter cantilever and put very light structure on top of it. And of course, we use metal sheet for the roof. It's okay. I think it's really very good to use that kind of combined structure. The next one, the second from the top, this time we use the same method. We use cantilever post-tension 6-meter, but this time we cantilever more from the post-tension structure about 4-meter. So it total length from the column to the roof is about 11 meter, and we use really light structure and metal sheet to put on top of it. And the upper one is I think is the longest cantilever that our office used to do. It's about 20 meter long, and of course all steel and metal sheet. Here is the realized picture of that kind of image that we use all the light structure and metal sheet to do. And also, we also love about the very thin line of the roof. This is one of the best property that light structure and metal sheet can give us the very thin roof line too. This is the project for the Eco Space Clubhouse. And this one that we mentioned before is a Grand Pingao Clubhouse. The second floor, we use post-tension 6-meter cantilever. And the upper roof here, we cantilever over the post-tension for 4 meter. So you can see here we have 11 meter cover. And we try to hide the structure because it's so light. We try to hide the structure to make it like a window frame. You can see the gray one in between the window glasses. This is actually the column, but we try to make it very thin as possible for Thai engineer. Okay. And the last one that we're talking about, the 20-meter cantilever. This is like the longest one that we try to do in the office. Maybe if we have the chance, maybe we do some more, but this is already almost maximum. Okay, of course, this is the structure with metal sheet roof on top of it. That is the reason that we choose metal sheet and metal for the project. And the second, why we use it, we think because it has variety of use. For example, it can be used as a wall, it can be used as a canopy, it can be used as a roof, of course, and it also low maintenance, right? It's actually very nice compared to some other material in some case. So when we look back to the project that we use many metal sheet material for
Residential
many
projects.
Yeah, it's a residential project. Because people always ask why we use metal sheet for the house. It look too similar to factory or something, but I think it doesn't necessary that we use only metal sheet for the factory. It can be used for the residential. If you combine them into other material, it can be look warm and welcome too. I think this is the sample that we think is quite good when we combine material, and it can be very homey and welcome house. The project got the BlueScope Award for 2023, the finalist one. Basically, this house composed of three family. You can see the house is a house in the front is for uncle, in the middle is for mother, and the one on the right is for the daughter. Okay, three house. You can normally arrange a house into a row and share them equally, but it is not a good strategy when you do site planning, right? I think what we do is try to use the best location for each of them and try to make a benefit from the site as much as possible. So we try to separate the uncle, the green one, to the front because they want to have some privacy. But the mother and daughter, they can share, they can have very big green area which they can share together. We can see the picture on the right. And the lower area is an area for entrance, is a parking. So all three families can share the same parking. So you don't have to do a longer road to serve all of the house, but you can pack them together and make it like a parking space for them all.
To save the space for this kind of function.
And the service, the yellow one and the picture below is a service for all three houses. The main area, the kitchen, and the parking, all three houses can share the same service. So this is, I think, master plan that try to make the benefit of all. Okay, you can see the plan here. Below is the parking area, and the upper left corner is a green area, and the one below is a house for uncle. Middle is for mother, and on the right is for daughter. Maybe you can see it clearly on the second floor. All of them are bedroom. And as I mentioned before, metal sheet is not only used for factory. It can be used anywhere if you use it correctly. I mean, if you nicely, right? This can be combined with nature material such as wood, tree, and anything. And I think this is kind of lovely, and it's a welcome. Here is the entrance to the house that they share the parking together, and the mother house. The mother house also they have the green area with their privacy. So I designed the wood frame in front of the window because they can have their own privacy without looking from daughter house.
I see.
And here on the left is daughter house, and on the right is mother house, and the frame is blocking privacy for the mother. And you can see the metal sheet material combined with the wood and tree. I think it's nice.
Siding.
And uncle house are separate. They want their own privacy, so we provide very small garden for them. And daughter house, we looking to the garden. and dog is their family too. You can see here, the pool is kind of center for the families can join together, and they have a dog as a member. Yeah, okay. Okay.
In many pictures.
Right.
And this one.
Interior, it's a house. The owner really loves skylight, and even in Thailand, it's very hot, right? But they love it, so we try to cover it with some tree and put it to the right direction to avoid heat. But they still have some, but try to avoid it. And you can see here, we provide skylight all over the house, and I think it's a place for them to enjoy. Detail of the house and the skylight. They are actually the yoga teacher, so they use some space to do some practice too. And the stair, we try to make it very thin. And even in the bedroom, they have skylight. People always ask why they have skylight in front, over the bedroom, but the owner want it. They want to see the star at night, and I ask them, "Do you not afraid of the sun and hot?" They said it's okay because I wake up before the sunrise anyway. So okay, up to you.
Up to you. That's what I'm about to say.
But it's good. I think if they love it,
Okay.
I don't mind. It's okay to me.
And another kind of skylight.
Maybe they wake up lately now because they have kids. I think so. Okay, even in the bathroom, we provide the light. Okay, I think it's almost 1 hour time. I go very quick to tell the skylight. And the last property of the metal sheet is because the innovation of form, that means it is flexible. You can put it in any form, and it's quite easily adaptable to the form of building. You have complicated form like this, and metal sheet is one of the material that can be matched with the complex form. I think it's easily to join and easily to modify. Here is a sample of the mall in Saima, and some work for the Frameline office. And the last project is also the form and the metal sheet. It's a winner of the BlueScope Award for 2023. It's a Bunsong Osot office. Bunsong Osot is known for Thai herb. They use Thai wisdom to produce modern medicine. They use herb, right? So when we do new office for them, so we think why we do the same, try to use same Thai wisdom, apply to the modern building. So we bring back the modern Thai house, traditional Thai house to the modern office. Traditional Thai house, I think a lot of people know, it is it raised from the ground to avoid flood and animal, and it's separate into smaller section and combined together with the big terrace that we call chan. We do the same for the new office. Try to apply all of them to the new office. So this is like we separate the function of the project. It have a lot of function here. We have office, it have living area, it have warehouse. We combine them into one building by put warehouse on the back and try to create a courtyard in between living space and the office, and connect them together with the big terrace, the pink one on below here. And I try to make it present, match for the Southeast Asian tropical by provide good ventilation and light. We do research on radiation analysis of the project to do where it is exposed to the sunlight, something like that. And the plan, I think I can go very quick because you see it's in the diagram already. It's a house, living area, and the warehouse. And the roof shape is one important here about the form and the ability of the metal sheet, because we do it's actually gable roof, but we rotate the line in the middle to make form it more interesting and make it like a new kind of Thai house, not really copy the traditional one. So the form of the roof that can be changed from every angle. If you look from project from the entrance to the back of the project, the shape is always keep changing because of the shape is not a symmetry. So it keeps changing by the way that you look at the project. inside of the project, you can see we provide metal sheet not only on the roof, also on the wall too. Some of the section and
I see.
and similar to the last project, this metal sheet can combine with auto material and it can be make a feeling like welcome and more home look to the project too. It combined with the wood, metal, something. I think it's a nice combination. Courtyard, I think its time is up, but I can run it very quick. Courtyard, and we provide a security wall. The upper floor is a terrace that we can see the temple nearby. It reflects to the glass. And the courtyard is a connection space and the flexible space for people, not only circulation and informal meeting. And the stair, we provide stairs for the living area separate as well. I think its time is up. Okay, thank you very much for
That's
for the project.
very short. But the question to your work, it's very directed to your presentation. How would you convince your clients to use coated steel? Because they would usually ask you back about the rusting problem, about the look and feels in relation to factories and warehouses.
As I mentioned in the slide, I think it's not because of it look like the material for the factory, but I think the answer is if we combine it very well with other material, I think it can blend, and plus it's very low maintenance and quick. When we do a house, we have another house that it can be built for 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah, and the one that I showed you before, the one with the house, it's very quick too, but it's too bad because it's built around COVID time. That's why it delay a lot. But this project can be, I think it could be finished in 8 months. And because we have some material that very quick, for example, that metal sheet, it can be very quick material.
Which very cost effective.
Yeah, and also sometimes it's very sustainable because it's less material too.
I see.
And low maintenance. It depends.
Would they be worried about like the rusting issues?
They never mentioned it. I think it's never had that problem.
I see.
But not every project, it depends.
It depends.
They want something quick and they want something low maintenance, maybe that's the answer.
And how about the profile selection for each project that's going to affect to your elevation design or even
of course,
the form generation?
Of course, because some of their product is can be bent into to direction curve, something like that. It's
very much like his.
Yeah. It's up to the material property too.
I see. I see. Well, because we'd like to spare some time, but shall we move quickly to your presentation, ครับพี่แว่น ศรีวิชัย
Okay. It's
Architecture of your own.
Why I'm the last one? Why I'm the last one?
No, why? Because you have a very
We saved a good one for the last.
Because
he has a kind of wide
oh
range
my God.
in experience both in Thailand and
you
abroad.
see Geoff's work,
Right.
it's very innovative, and then see his work, and then it's my work very small and simple.
We'll see. I don't think it's simple at all.
All right. Yes. Oops. ไม่ใช่ใช่ไหม
ใช่
ใช่เหรอโอเค
Okay.
Okay, so basically what I'm going to show today is pretty much, respond to the event about how to use the coated steel. Basically, what I will show you guys, it's more like my history of work that I have used the metal steel as a siding. In the US, we call metal siding. Basically, we have the common name. We don't call metal sheet or something like that.
Oh,
they call it
metal
metal siding.
siding.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we use it a lot. I mean, it's more like a stone veneer, the brick veneer, or more like, finishing on the wall. We call it metal siding. So basically, we really used to it for long time. Oops, sorry. So the theme of today is the versatile design of coated steel. Basically, we have to talk about design constraint and advantage, why we have to choose each material that we apply for our design. Basically, first of all, I'm going to show the work that I work in the US. There are two firms that I work for. The first firm is called Carlson Architects. Basically, this project that is the first project in my life in the US that I have to learn to use how to use AutoCAD. Basically, the building is in the child development school. It's basically in Thailand, it's called a kindergarten. Basically, it's a preschool. This preschool is for University of Washington, where I graduate my master over there as well. So you can see on the top left side, in the roof plan, aerial view of the building. Basically, two sides of the building, they are on different streets. Each street have different elevation. One side is taller than the other side, about 4 meters. And then my boss, he used to be an first employer of Frank Gehry, basically. You can see the building, it has influence from him.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy that worked on this building before I did, he worked on the roof for 6 months. And it go nowhere. He cannot figure out how to make the geometry of the roof. He cannot produce the construction drawing for the roof. So when I got into the firm, so basically I helped reconfigure the roof. You can see the roof end is going to be more like hip roof, traditional roof. You can see on the second picture on the top, in the middle. So basically the roof is shape is like typical roof, like a hip roof. And then in the middle, you have to transform from the upper level to down the hill, and then other end also have the hip roof as well. So in the middle is totally crazy. Each piece have different, different reference point. So how to make them all connected as a one roof is very difficult. So I have to learn AutoCAD 3D to figure out this profile of the roof on each elevation of each corner of the roof and produce the drawing. After I finished this drawing, the guy that used to work for this building got fired because I replaced him. The building, you can see, we use a lot of metal. In Seattle, we use a lot of metal. So basically, either the roof and the wall as well. The roof form, you have no question. You have to, only material that, can apply for the roof shape like this is a metal sheet. Or the other one, it can be asphalt roof shingle. Only two materials that can fit with this geometry. So we select this because the low maintenance. And then, you don't have to change it every 5 years or 10 years as the asphalt shingle. And then we use the standing seam. In the US, we call standing seam. This one is like 1999 when we started. This one, the first firm that I did, they use on the wall as well. At that time, they don't have the sandwich panel. They have the flat sheet, standing seam flat sheet with the PU foam installation separately.
Yeah.
And then you have the backing below that.
I see.
And this second firm is actually the very famous one in Seattle. There are two firms in Seattle that all the graduate students want to get the job there. This is one of the firms. He was my advisor for the thesis. The name of the firm is called Miller Hall. Both of them used to be a veteran in Vietnam War. So he kind of know Thailand very well. So he the one that can call my name, my first name, very correctly. Yeah. Because in the US, I don't tell them my nickname. I give them my full name. So all of the people there know me as my full name. Not Van, but C. Vichai. Everyone can call me C. Vichai. This one is the house that they did. Actually, I got into the firm after this one it just finished. But I asked them permission to show you guys today. But in the US, copyright is very serious. I cannot show the digital image from the files. I have to scan the book and use the image for the book. Some of them you're going to see the crease on the middle or something like that. This one is from 1999, the first house that I got into the firm, and I saw the house, the real house.
Residential project.
Yeah, it's a consistent house. Basically, it's a metal sheets, all metal sheet, the roof, the wall, and then some of the siding is the different profiles. They use the box section and corrugated section as well. And the roof, I think this one is not totally metal. Some of them is the membrane roof as well. But you can see, the first time I thought like, why use the metal sheet because in Thailand we haven't used it for the residential building. But I think in the US they are very commonly, used as residential and other projects as well. And then the other condition that they use the metal sheet because it's in the jungle. So it had to transport. This one is on Mercer Island, not on the mainland. So they had to transport all the material across the ferry to the island as well. So it all pieces it pre-cut and go there to install it.
So it's very manageable.
Fast. Yeah. And you can see they all expose everything. My firm that I work for, Miller Hall, they try to manipulate or articulate all the MEP system, structural system, and electrical system and architectural element all together. So they don't try to decorate the architecture. So basically, it's more like a pure function and form. So you can see they use like a brick wall. In Thailand, it's called cement block.
Yep, cement block.
Block, yeah.
Yep. Over there they call it cinder block.
They call CMU.
CMU.
Yeah. So basically, they have the module. Everything designed by the module. In the US, they are very economical. They don't try to use things too much. Like all of them have the module, like the windows, the cabinet, everything come by inches. Like a 3 inches increment. Like everything have to increase by 3 inches. And this one is another house they use the new that time they just have the standing seam.
Standing seam.
Yeah. So they use the standing seam you can see on the left side. They use the standing seam, but this one is special. At that time, the standing seam just came out, and this profile or this color, they have 2 colors in one single sheet. It's more like you see the lotus leaf. We have the water on that, and you can see so slightly different color.
In one angle, you would see one color on the different one.
This angle you see is brownish, but the other angle you're gonna see on the lower left, you see it green.
Different angles,
there are
different
two
colors.
pictures in the bottom. It's the same house, but
see.
in different angle. You see it both reddish and then brownish and then greenish, like olive color. So it's an interesting profile. I think it's get very popular in US because of this house as well, because it got published and got the award in the US. And you can see this firm, the Mill Hall, actually the one on the top with the metal sheet, with the colors, they have done that in 1990s.
1990s?
Yeah, they have been using it in 1990, yeah. And then the recently finished is the one with the black color. Actually, if I go back in the system house, they figure out how to use the metal sheet without the screw that show on the outside. At that time, no one doing it because it's very hard to do the metal sheet without the screw on.
So they invented the way to deal with that without screw?
I wouldn't say they invented, but they create the details.
Okay.
They're very detail oriented. They figure out the detail that hold the metal sheet without screw outside. So it basically hang over and with the clips, something like that. So you don't see the screw. That helps a lot because the screw is the thing that's gonna get rusted.
Yeah, that's true. And leakage.
Yeah. And this one is the first project that I involved in. It's called what's it called? Mercer. Union Lake Information Center. Basically, in Seattle, they're gonna develop an area near the lake, and then that now it used to be now it's Amazon and Microsoft office around the lake as well. And that one is the project that we want to promote the area to sell the land to all the developer. Basically, this building, they use the metal sheet as well for the roof and for the wall and the glazing. Basically, the building is come into the segment because they have to remove this. After it finished, they're gonna relocate them otherwhere, like for the library or something for the other area as well. So I figured out this detail with the company. So basically, each segment can disassemble.
So it's very easy to reassemble and
this picture is got from the book, basically. Yeah, you can see on the right-hand side. So the crane the module have to be calculated with the weight as well. So the crane can carry the piece up to the truck and go to somewhere else as well. So basically, after it finished, it reassemble and go to the other place. And this one is the first project that I involved as a project architect. So basically, I draw all the drawing for this building. This building, they use the metal siding on the second, basically third floor and fourth floor and the roof. It's the child abuse center, basically for the children that get abused. They go to this, like a shelter. This project I learned about the metal sheet a lot because I do all the section, the wall section. In Seattle, they are on the earthquake line. So basically, the earthquake have to apply for, you have the earthquake factor, you have to apply for the building as well, because Seattle used to have a serious earthquake. So all the wall there, it can move a little bit. So I figured out the detail that make the wall move without cracking the building, you know what I mean? So basically, if you do the mason building, like all brickwork, and when they have the earthquake, they're gonna have the crack, and then you cannot repair it. It's very difficult to repair. So basically what I did, we did all the members can move independently. And like a glazing on the top, we have the gap that they can move a little bit. So the engineer calculate the earthquake factor into that, and then we do the deflection or safety space for on the top. Yeah, this one is actually in the US I haven't done a lot of projects because each project takes 3 years. So this one is the last project before I came back. It's called Mercerville Community Center. Basically, it's a public project. It's why we use the metal sheet on this metal siding because it's a public project, because the scale of it as well. And then because it's the most cost-effective materials that we can find, and it's low maintenance. And when I opened my firm, I got some influence from them, but I didn't know that I got influence from them. Basically, we try to do something simple with very fine details. This one is the factory, no question. It's about the large-scale building. The roof is metal sheet. The wall is metal sheet because it's fast, and then it cost effective. It multiplied by that square meter of the facade. So the metal sheet is the best choice. So it's inevitable that you choose it. But we try to make it differently a little bit. And this one is the
marketplace.
Yeah. So basically, it's open air. So we use the metal sheet to create a form, basically. But as the principle that I told you, we want to do something a little bit simple. So we try not to over-design the building, because if you design too much, the metal sheet, when you have too many joints, so it's the problem. You can get water inside. So in Thailand, it's very severe.
Leakage problem, yeah.
Yeah, compared to Seattle, it's like, they are rain a lot, but it's just drizzling rain, not like heavy rain like here. So we have to concern about all the factors as well. So basically, we try to use, minimal joints as much as possible. Yeah, and this one is also another work that we did. It's the mixed use between the penthouse resident and then the office below. The roof and the wall, you use the standing seam as well. Because it's high up, I don't want to change the roof, So I told the client that we want to use the material that can last a little bit longer.
I see.
You don't need to change it. And then when you use the roof form like this with the steep angle and high up, you got the wind load, and then the wind can go into that the roof. If you use the small piece of roof, the water can get in. So we use the continuous roof to provide that. And then this one, Pu Hai Property, we got the award for this one in 2022. Category is sustainable design. So basically, this building, the client, which is my fellow from the school, give me the requirement. It had to be done in 10 months. So basically,
in 10 months?
Yeah, she got a loan from the bank, and she wanted to make the money out of it. So basically, the first thing come to my mind is the steel structure, and then metal sheet. So apply that metal sheet siding here from the other project that I did before. Basically, my office used to be in the front of this building, and they have a lot of vibration from the truck. When the truck come by, you can feel the vibration. So I thought, because the old office got leaked a lot, water leaks a lot. So I thought, my new building that I'm gonna stay here as well, I'm gonna rent the space in this building also. So I told my staff, this building will have no leak. Because otherwise we cannot be architect anymore. we design the building, and we are in the building, and the building leak.
You get extremely serious about that one.
So we did the section on the right-hand side. The wall is off from the wall, on the floor. It not sit on the floor. It offset from the floor. So when the water come in, it leak and go down to the ground floor without get into the space.
So the wall hung.
Yeah, the wall hangs outside a little bit on the face of the wall, and then the water, when it leaks, it go down. Yeah. So we use the technique that I used in Seattle, basically applied to this building. Yeah, it's time up. So basically, this building got award, but I'm grateful for that. And then the building actually it doesn't turn on any light until 5 or 6 o'clock because it's very bright inside and good ventilation. Our office. Oh, there it's all exposed. Yeah. And this
Also
one is
lightweight.
the one that I regret the most because I want this building to get built. It didn't get built. Basically, we used the standing seam with the zigzag pattern because in Hua Hin, we use the handcraft for like the fish, the make out of the palm leaves. So we create the pattern of that, and we have the zigzag gutter in between, and have the sub-roof underneath it as well. But the owner decided not to continue with this.
To go on with this one.
Yeah, because the land worth more than the building. Because it's
So
on
they
the,
changed the type of project.
yes, but now it's a condo now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I already finished the construction drawing for this.
Got the money?
No,
Oh,
not
no.
yet.
That's sad.
Yeah, I think that pretty much. Yeah.
But anyway, according to this slide, I think it's totally related to my question because
Okay.
because of your wide range of experience,
Okay.
both in Washington, the U.S., which also has rained a lot, and also in Thailand. The leakage problem and how you cope with that kind of problem. Do you have any suggestion?
Basically, use the material that have less joints. The first thing, and the second thing is you have to design it for the leak.
I see.
Yeah, like
I
this
see.
one, we know it's gonna leak. So we design for the secondary roof underneath it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have a
basically-
sub-roof underneath it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes if you do something like very neat details, don't have the overhang. Sometimes you need to do the secondary water.
I see.
Yeah, waterproofing. Like in the US, we have the gutter, and we also have the daylighting. In Thailand, we don't do it, but in the US, we do daylighting. Basically, we have the roof drain, and we have another pipe that came up from the roof about 2 inches, and then the water flood on the roof because the gutter or the roof drain is clogged. The water go into that tube and go outside the building on the ground floor. So it come out.
You have plan B for the
So
leakage problem.
personally, I use that for a lot of buildings.
I see.
So, yeah. So you see the water come out from the building, so you know the clog is on the roof. So you have time to go to fix it before it flooded the building.
Can I ask you for one more question? How come this kind of material, coated steel or so-called metal sheet, is very popular in Australia?
Extremely popular.
Yeah.
In fact, it's been used for many really corrugated iron buildings, and then it's been a natural product for over 100 years, really.
How would you deal with the rusting problem and leakage
galvanizing.
problem?
Yeah, well, galvanizing is obviously a game
Galvanizing?
changing.
Okay.
And we have different thicknesses for if it's a marine environment.
I see.
They have a special roof material. But we have a plan A, plan B, and a plan C, generally. But we really, it's a very solid product. We don't have any real issues with it, to be honest.
But you all totally agree with the issue of cost effective for this kind of materials.
Yeah,
And-
like our project recently, like a residential project that we try to do the bidding, the bidding for the buildings. It costs going up a lot more than before. Like a labor cost now is not cheap anymore. So it's not like 10 years ago. Right now, the cost of labor is almost 30% of the total cost of the project. It used to be about 20% or 35, but now it's 30. And then in the future, it could go 35 or 40.
and higher.
Yeah. So basically, all the project, I think we have to consider how we use less time, less labor on the project. I think materials, because I have used it for a long time, metal siding, you avoid a lot of defects. Because it's pre-cut. If you do it correctly, you get the pre-cut finish from the manufacturer. And you need to get the right installer to make it without the silicone joint. or
Avoiding any kind of on-site problems.
Yeah. And then you get it finished very fast, without defects. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to make the last session for you three all. Each one of you would give like 1 minute food for thoughts, sharing with the audience about.
It's not in the list.
Not yet.
Wow.
Okay. I know. It's kind of spontaneous
Okay,
kind of
my
stuff.
answer is the same as P1.
Okay, that's a good one. To be more specific, because you have done a very, very quick time period to fabricate one residential project. Could you have anything to share with the audience? How you deal with the design process up to the construction process?
I think it's quite similar to what Pivan mentioned before. Try to use really material that kind of already finished in the factory and installed in the site.
Prefabricated, okay.
Something like steel structure, all combined together. I think that kind of one factor that made the project really quick. And another thing that really important, find very good contractor. Otherwise, if you try to do something really
Otherwise,
good,
you're gonna have only
they're gonna
look
mess up
more.
anyway.
Look more and screw.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about you?
Well, first of all, metal sheet, the great thing about it is, for us, it's a known quantity, it's a known product, it's a quality product. So that just takes all that worry what we're going to get on site. We can work closely with suppliers from a very early piece, and they can help us resolve details. So it literally can arrive on the back of a truck and go on. So that's the beauty of it. The colours, the materiality, there's glisten, there's flat, there's matte. We find that incredibly useful. And I guess the other thing in Australia it's used on Antarctic bases, the snow line all the way up the desert and into the jungle. So it's an incredibly versatile product that is incredibly reliable. So that's why we use it a lot. But mainly we use it because it's architecturally, it works for us, design-wise. We like to bend and move walls, ceilings and walls, and make the way into something. So really that's the primary driver, is it's a quality design option for us.
Because your work presented, it's very much complex in the way. How did you collaborate and working closely with BlueScope in a way? Do you have any kind of special process to work with them, or they just kind of?
No, we work with the rep, and they have a very good technical department. So we'll start very early and we'll get them in and we'll have a chat about our project. We talk about span, we talk about colour.
Do you have to really go to the factory to work with them?
No, they'll come to us, but we can go to the factories and they will do special colours for us if there's enough. But we find that all of our projects we will call the team in very early, and they have a lot of technical support. We can give them CAD drawings and vice versa. So very, very easy, really.
And you, for the last one of food for thought session, and my question would be like, how would you deal with builders in Thailand, because they tend to have less skill set dealing with metal sheets?
Basically, just kill them.
Oh no!
Basically, I think the weak point of Thailand construction is the labor, the skill of the labor. Basically, I think BlueScope maybe have to have more like a training center for the contractor that do the steel work or the metal siding. So basically, if you do the training well, I think it helps a lot. Otherwise, they hand into the neighbor labor from the neighbor country, and they just do it with anything.
See.
Like my building, actually, I would be honest. My building, I feel ashamed every time people go to the roof. In my building, I got an award, you see, because they are silicone joint on the flashing. I don't know why they have to put silicone. They just do the lapping, with the tape. That's all that they need. But they're just used to it. They just use silicone everywhere, you see.
So we have. Do you think that we need to have to develop or
I think the detail is
any
okay.
kind of
I know the details. I think typical detail is enough. Actually,
it's enough. Okay.
Yeah, enough. But only the labor. They don't do. They don't used to the method that we do with the screw without the silicone. I think the BlueScope have training center or train the contractor how to do it correctly without the silicone joint. I think that would be very nice.
You tend to think about it.
I think only the downside, the downside for metal sheet. I think I cannot think anything except for one thing about the perception of people that they think is the industrial or look like a factory. It's only one thing that is the downside. But it's gonna get changed over time. In the future, it's gonna get more and more used. And then we get used to it. And like Kulek said, it depends on how you compose the material, like the color and then the pattern, and with something else, like with the wood, with something else. I think it ranks a wide range of variety of the material that you can use
So
together.
you think it's going to be promising kind of
Yeah.
materials for the future?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, three of you, and thank you for sharing your thoughts, your work, and well, I don't know how to respond to that anymore. But would you guys give a big applause to three of them?